Droves of support tonight for a Killeen teacher who was forced to remove her Charlie Brown Christmas decoration because of the biblical quote that was on it.
Lots of people came out to support that teacher, Deidre Shannon, at tonight's school board meeting. News Channel 25's Brittany Werner joins us now from the Killeen newsroom. Now, Brittany, what did those people have to say?
Most people who spoke out tonight said Shannon should be allowed to repost her Christmas decorations, but by the end of the meeting, most of those people were unhappy with the outcome.
We fought, we've died, we've bled, we serve for that reason, for free speech.
It's free speech that many are fighting for in the Killeen Independent School District.
Ms. Shannon's display, nothing about it in federal or state law requires that you censor and take down this poster.
During a school board meeting, almost every person there stood up to support Deidre Shannon. Killeen ISD administrators told the staff member to take down the poster featuring Charlie Brown and a Bible verse saying it imposed personal beliefs on students. The story upset some parents and led to this meeting when it went before the Killeen School Board.
Because sometimes it's not always about what the government thinks, it's about what common sense is.
Shannon's attorney says the poster does not force religion, but instead expresses freedom of speech. He'd hoped the school board would allow her to put it back up.
It's very simple. With just a few days left for Christmas break, the solution is simple and easy for Killeen ISD.
But the school board did not agree, voting 6-1 against allowing that poster.
Tonight, the Killeen ISD school board has decided to go rogue on the First Amendment.
Shannon and her attorney reacting in kind, insinuating that this fight for free speech might turn into a lawsuit.
I am deeply saddened that Killeen ISD School Board voted to ban my Charlie Brown Christmas display.
The president of the Killeen Independent School District was the only person who voted in favor of Shannon being able to put those decorations back up. Shannon's attorney believes if it goes to court, they will have a pretty strong chance at winning. Live in the Killeen newsroom, Brittany Werner, News Channel 25.
And an elementary school cancels its annual Christmas Carol play because it takes too much time out of teaching. But parents claim it was really because two parents complained about this line.
God bless us, everyone.
The principal at the Pennsylvania school responding in a message refuting those parents' claims, saying, quote, "Our decision is rooted in the desire to be respectful of the many cultural and religious backgrounds represented by the students attending Centerville Elementary." Those are some of your headlines. That's kind of a bummer, though. You think about the Christmas Carol. I acted in the Christmas Carol growing up.
Oh, yeah? Who'd you play?
A few different people, but I played Ebenezer Scrooge's little sister. It's a very important role to play.
Very important. Yes. Critical. Maybe we can get, hopefully there's something in the archives we can pull out from that.
Nick has done and Curtis' trend of taking a knee during the national anthem because he's not happy where America is right now. Well, listen to this story. A Florida middle school has this beloved coach. His name is Eddie Metcalf. He saw his team take a knee for a prayer, and he joined them.
Yeah, it was a student-led prayer, and somebody after this actually posted this video on the Facebook, and as it turns out, the organization, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, saw that video and contacted the school and said, hey, that coach can't take part in kneeling. Now, keep in mind, it was a student-led prayer. He wasn't leading it. He wasn't praying that we could tell of. All we know is he knelt.
The school board said the act of reverence is against the law. The act of reverence. You can't be reverent, apparently. The coach can't participate in the prayer. Even though he wasn't giving the prayer, he can't even take a knee and participate. Well, what does this world come to, guys?
Well, listen, just compare the two stories. And here's what Danielle said on Twitter. This is so ridiculous. We need freedom of religion and speech back in our schools.
Bonnie on Facebook says he has just as much right to take a knee in prayer as anyone taking a knee to protest. Excellent point.
And Angelina says on Facebook, praying these hypocrisies will end with the Trump administration, that America will turn back to "In God We Trust," religious liberty, right to life, and to wishing you a Merry Christmas.
And by the way, if you want to see something, you want to see guys pray or women pray, go to the end of any sports game. And the NFL, both teams get together. Most NBA games, same thing. In public, out there.
The bigger theme here, though, is prayer keeps a lot of people out of trouble and reminds you to give credit where credit is due.
Sure.
You take that out of schools, what do you have? Bunch of
it's
self-indulged
out,
kids.
Well, the question is, you know, and to bring up, as Brian started it with Colin Kaepernick, would that coach be in trouble if he took a knee to protest the national anthem? Absolutely not.
All right, well, there is a new policy at the University of Michigan that allows students to choose their preferred pronouns to appear on the class rosters.
Yes, we've entered the post-rational phase of American history. All this prompted one student to choose His Majesty, which he says demonstrates the ridiculous nature of the policy.
Fox News Channel campus associate and Michigan University student His Majesty Grant Strobel joins us now. Her Majesty, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence this morning.
Well, it's a pleasure, and I don't know if you didn't notice, but in any video of Schoolhouse Rock for the pronouns, they never even mention words like z or zer.
That's a great point. So walk us, for people that are just hearing this for the first time, what is going on? What is this policy? How did you hear about it? And why are you now being called Her Majesty?
Well, when I realized that the university decided to live a fantasy of allowing students to insert words that aren't even actual pronouns into the university online database that updates the rosters, I decided, well, I might as well be the king of that fantasy, and I henceforth shall be referred to as His Majesty.
So people are actually calling you that now? Like they are forced to call you that on campus now?
Yes, the policy says that if professors don't refer to students by their designated identities, then they may face sanction, which is very dangerous for our universities where we're supposed to be pursuing truth.
So what you have is the mandatory denial of biological reality. The campus's position is that gender is just a construct. Having changed a lot of diapers, I think it's actually physical. But I wonder if your fellow classmates at Michigan, the Augusta school, believe that it's not real, that it's all in your head, that gender is what you say it is. Do people buy that?
Well, plenty of students do, unfortunately, and the more and more we go down this road of political correctness at these universities, the question is where will that end? How much is the university willing to sacrifice its pursuit of truth and its mission for this fantasy land of political correctness?
So here's what the university is saying. If we can pull that back up again. Here's what they say. Their policy is, they say, asking about and correctly using someone's designated pronoun is one of the most basic ways to show your respect for their identity and to cultivate an environment that respects all gender identities. You talked to the other students there. I mean, what is their reaction to all this?
Well, I've received tons of support from all across the country. And even at the university. However, I have had some students say that I am disrespectful, and that's simply not true. I love all humans. This is not out of disrespect. I just want to restore reality.
But wait a second, Grant. I mean, why not use it to your benefit? If you can be whatever you say you are, then why not apply to the University of Michigan as a female American Indian student and benefit from their affirmative action policies? Has anyone tried that? What would they say about that?
Well, Elizabeth Warren would do really well at the University of Michigan these days.
Hilarious. So good. Grant, thanks a lot this morning.
Thanks. What do you want to be called, Tugger?
I don't know. I think about Archbishop. That's always been on the list. Winner of the Victoria Cross for gallantry. Whatever. We can talk about it.
Thank you, Grant. Thanks for being here.
A lot of other stuff is going on, including word from the PC police.
Yeah, we told you about this yesterday. Remember the university that's relabeling family restrooms as all gender?
Finally.
Well, supporters think the sign is clear, and we are taking to the streets to see. So, Steve, you're out there, the corner of 48th and 6th. What are you learning?
I'm here at 48th and 6th Avenue, and I have a recreation of the sign that they're going to put there at Illinois State University. And I had this group of Fox fans who stopped by. They've been looking at it for the last 20 seconds or so. Okay, so, and we'll start right here. If this was on a door, would you have any idea what this meant?
Maybe a family restroom?
Family restroom. That's exactly right. It was a family restroom. Do you see family restroom?
I could see that.
See, they were designated as family restrooms in the past, and now apparently they're going to be known as all gender restrooms. Does that make sense?
Restrooms for both genders.
That's right. Both genders. Or transgender.
Transgender. That's what I thought.
Transgender. All right. So, all right. The middle part has thrown some people.
Well, it looks like male at the top and female at the bottom. But I don't get the red and the blue, other than being politically correct.
All right. So that's the question we had, and that's the answer we got. All right, Anna and Brian, into you.
Well, they're better people than us. I could not figure it out, and we had the story in front of us. It makes no sense. Why is the torso so big and the dress so small?
All right. I can't answer that for you either. I can't answer whether the blue or the pink was supposed to go on the top or the bottom, how they picked. But it is supposed to make everybody feel comfortable and be a very sensitive thing to do. 35.
Meanwhile, an Indian Army convoy has come under attack in Indian-controlled Kashmir, leaving 3 soldiers dead. A defense spokesman has blamed the attack on what he called militants, adding that a search operation has been launched to find those responsible for the deadly attack. According to Indian officials, the soldiers were ambushed on the outskirts of Srinagar. Now, the violence in the Kashmir region has chilled ties between India and Pakistan. India blames Pakistan for sending fighters and material into the Indian-controlled Kashmir. Pakistan has repeatedly denied any involvement, saying New Delhi must agree to talks to resolve the future of Kashmir. Crossing over to Kashmir, joined by Press TV's Shahana Butt. Shahana, good to see you. Fill us in on the latest situation on the ground there.
Unfortunately, Marzia, this year has been one of the deadliest, I must say, and a violent year for Kashmir. Kashmir has seen a lot of bloodshed this whole year. 6 months, Kashmir has seen all this. So this attack came today at Indian time around 2. A military security personnel, Indian Army convoy, was coming from Jammu region towards the Srinagar, which is the summer capital of Kashmir. Most of these men were unarmed because they were coming from their annual leaves towards their new deployment areas. So the attack took place on the highway, and it is believed that 2 men have done the attack, and they were on the motorcycle and they carried out the attack. So security forces have launched an search operation, but so far there is no success. Unfortunately, this area, the southern Kashmir, has become one of the hubs of such pro-freedom activities, such pro-freedom acts conducted by pro-freedom activists or pro-freedom fighters. This year, almost 4 such attacks have happened on Indian convoys. Earlier, killing 8 personnel, and then in another attack, 5 personnel. So this particular area has become very sensitive in terms of pro-independence fights. But I must say that the situation here has become really complicated. When as a journalist we tend to talk to those who are observers, they say that the level of frustrations among the people of Kashmir is too high, especially the youth are seen. Even police has given informations and tips that many young people are joining militant outfits or pro-freedom fighting groups to fight Indian rule in the region, especially in southern Kashmir. Okay. Unfortunately, what happened in July for Kashmir, that pro-freedom fighter Burhan Wani was killed, and after that it has been a snowball kind of an incident. It is seen that many youths are joining the militant outfits.
Okay, all right, Shahana, definitely we need to talk another time. I appreciate you being with us. We're out of town right now. Thanks so much. Out of Kashmir, Press TV's very own Shahana Butt.
Austrian police have started searching freight trains travelling from Italy at night in an attempt to tackle illegal migration and prevent further deaths. In temperatures of around -4 degrees Celsius, police officers and rail security guards in Steinach station searched 10 freight trains, some of which were 600 metres long. The decision comes after 2 stowaways died earlier this month. A man and a woman from Eritrea had hidden on a train bringing trucks from southern Italy. They were crushed to death in the Tyrol region of Austria. Investigators say it's likely they lost consciousness due to the freezing winter temperatures.
The leader of Iran's Islamic Revolution has urged Muslims to unite in order to deal with the maladies facing the Muslim world. Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei made the remark in a meeting with a host of Iranian officials, as well as participants of an Islamic Unity Conference in Tehran. The leader said that if Muslims remain united, neither the U.S. nor the wicked Zionist network will be able to hold them in their clutches. Ayatollah Khamenei then noted there are 2 fronts facing off in the region. One seeks to unite, and the other struggles to divide Muslims. The leader said that if unity takes hold, the current situation will change and Muslims will achieve dignity. He said today Muslims are being killed, namely in Myanmar by Buddhists, all the way to Africa by the Boko Haram terrorist group. Ayatollah Khamenei underlined the UK-style Shiism and the US-style Sunnism are both used to pit Muslims against one another. Later in his remarks, Ayatollah Khamenei took a swipe at Britain, saying that the country brazenly calls Iran a threat to the region, while the UK itself has always been a source of evil and misery for Middle East nations.
With the liberation of the Syrian city of Aleppo now proclaimed over, civilians are finally getting the chance to start rebuilding their homes and their lives.
When the terrorists were here, the doctors treated only them and never helped civilians.
They gave us food only once a month. They took the rest for themselves.
A few days ago, I was playing here with my friends, and someone threw a rock. It hit a mine which exploded. Several people were injured, including me. Look at the blood.
Unexploded bombs are all over the eastern districts. So now Syrian and Russian demining teams are clearing the streets. They're removing explosives from numerous schools turned by extremists into weapons factories.
Now, Chinese officials say they will return the U.S. research drone they seized last week in the South China Sea. Many observers claim the capture was unusual, and the tension between the two nations seems to have been amplified by the U.S. president-elect's comments. Yun Xin has the full story.
China has agreed to return the U.S. underwater drone its Navy captured last week, but tensions remain between the two nations over maritime surveillance. On Saturday, Pentagon spokesperson Peter Cook said the U.S. had secured an understanding with China to have the drone returned, which a statement from the Chinese Defense Ministry appeared to confirm. The unmanned underwater vehicle, or UUV, was taken by a Chinese submarine rescue vessel on Thursday in the South China Sea, about 92 kilometers northwest of Subic Bay near the Philippines. Regarding the incident, the Chinese Defense Ministry said its vessel discovered a piece of unidentified equipment and checked it for the sake of navigational safety before discovering it was a U.S. drone. U.S. officials said the drone was within sight of another American naval ship that was about to retrieve it when the Chinese vessel picked it up. The Pentagon immediately went public with the complaint, saying the drone was lawfully conducting scientific research in international waters. And U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has criticized the unusual seizure through Twitter, accusing China of stealing research equipment. After Beijing agreed to return the drone, Trump went on and tweeted that the U.S. doesn't want the drone back and said, "Let them keep it." China's defense ministry expressed regret at what it called the hyping up of the incident by Washington. While some see the deal to return the drone as helping diffuse recent tensions between the two powers, it's also added to concerns over Beijing's increasing assertiveness in the disputed waters of the South China Sea. Yun Xin, Arirang News.